Part of the beauty of the Smith Castle Historic Site are their gardens. A URI Master Garden team works to restore and develop the gardens here at Smith Castle. Their mission is to support the castle in their efforts to teach about 3 significant periods in this site's history. Additionally, they use the gardens to show that many of the garden practices of the past are still as relevant for today's gardeners. We are in the garden of a wealthy 18th century landowner. During that time, the house was at the height of its prosperity. It encompassed over 3,000 acres and served as the center of intellectual, political, and social life in South County. Ships docking at Wickford Harbor brought plants, seeds, and bulbs from England and other parts of Europe to supplement the native plants already growing here. Planning for the recreation of this garden began in the early 1950s as the house was being restored. Extensive research was done to reflect as accurately as possible an 18th century colonial garden. Irmgard Graham, local landscape architect, designed this garden. The South County Garden Club won a coveted Founders Award for the design and installed this garden in 1953. Last month, 67 years later, the South County Garden Club provided a grant to enable Smith Castle to replace large sections of the fence that had been badly damaged by storms over the years.
This is a Georgian-style garden, a style very popular in 17th and 18th century England. This was the landscape design that most columnists and their ancestors were familiar with. And it's the style that they used when they were establishing their own gardens here in the New World. The most common elements of a Georgian style are a highly symmetrical layout, designed on an axis with paths between the beds. The beds are bordered with brick and hedging plants like boxwood, lavender, and germander. Paths are made of crushed stone or shells, packed earth, or brick. The entire garden is enclosed by a fence or hedge which defines the space, gives protection from wind, and keeps out unwanted animals. The plantings were a mix of edibles, herbs, and ornamentals. The eclectic mix of exotic and familiar plants and the materials used in the design were a reflection of the owner's pocketbook and assured visitors that the owner was doing quite well here in the colonies.
Although this garden is a quite accurate reflection of an 18th century one, many of the practices used by early gardeners are still very important today. These include using raised beds, regular amendment of soil, having a diversity of plants, planting for pollinators, companion planting, and other practices. These practices can be seen in use in this garden and the other gardens on the site. These include colonial herb gardens and a Native American Three Sisters garden.
We hope you will come visit Smith Castle and tour these gardens to enjoy their beauty and serenity and appreciate the industrious work of past residents of this site. You may also learn some ideas that will improve your own gardens.